Cooper Marcher here. When Yvonne walked into veterinarian Chris Brown's office with her two boys and a box containing an abandoned kitten, little did he know he'd develop a strong bond with the tiny feline. Found near a cricket playground, the kitten was alone and scared, suffering in the scorching heat. Thankfully, she ended up in the care of Dr. Chris, a compassionate vet with a soft spot for kittens in distress. The kitten appeared exhausted and drowsy, likely from being trapped in the box under the blazing sun. He estimated she was about 7 or 8 weeks old, far too young to fend for herself. If she had been a minute longer, the kitten might not have survived. He said if a kitten goes without food or water for more than a few hours in heat, then it can dehydrate very quickly, and you can lose a kitten like that in the direct sun, in just an hour or so. The next step was an x-ray, which revealed a major fracture in the kitten's front leg, necessitating surgery. Before the operation, he asked Yvonne and her sons to choose a name for the kitten. Since she was found near a cricket playground, they suggested Cricket. There's no doubt that anesthesia for animals this size and this age poses a huge risk, simply because the animals are so young and very frail. According to Dr. Chris, every step they took had to be done with extreme caution, or they might lose the kitten. Assessing the fractured bone was difficult, but Dr. Chris managed it. The next challenge was to insert a pin into the top fragment and connect it with the other end. However, this was tricky for a small kitten like Cricket. Thankfully, the day after surgery, he was amazed by Cricket's progress. The little feline was doing much better, even standing straight on all fours willingly. The following day, Cricket had visitors eagerly anticipating her recovery. It was Yvonne and her boys who had rescued her. They were all thrilled to see Cricket doing so well and making amazing progress. Dr. Chris could tell the boys were smitten with Cricket, brainstorming ways to convince their mom to adopt the kitten. As for their mom, becoming a cat parent was a huge decision that required careful consideration. Whether they decided to take Cricket home or not didn't matter. As Dr. Chris put it, they had already saved her life, and that was the most important thing to remember. After 4 weeks of recovery, Cricket was thriving and ready for her forever home. Dr. Chris reached out to Yvonne, but unfortunately she and her family weren't ready to take in a cat. Dr. Chris understood, knowing it's crucial not to force a pet into a family that isn't prepared. Luckily, another person expressed interest in adopting Cricket, Dr. Chris himself. For him, it felt like a natural decision. During Cricket's treatment, he had developed a strong bond with her. Being a veterinarian and having owned cats before, he knew he could provide the perfect home for Cricket. Plus, since saying goodbye to his cat George a couple of years ago, he felt ready for a new feline companion. Cricket grew into a happy cat, excited about the future. And with Dr. Chris as her loving owner, the future looks bright indeed. I'm so happy for them both, and don't they make a handsome pair? Cooper Marcher here. Ciao.